Hey, I'm Jesse Hunt with Unofficial. We're a web design and digital marketing agency located in downtown Memphis. Since 2002, I've been helping Mid-South businesses just like yours improve their websites and find more customers on the internet. Today, I'm going to perform a video website audit on your website that'll show you some areas for improvement that might be hurting your business. The entire audit will take 15 to 20 minutes and should leave you substantially more informed about what's working and what's not working so well on your website. I hope you'll find the audit informative and that you'll keep me in mind if you ever need some help working on your existing website or building a new one. Thanks a lot for watching. Let's get started.
Hey Kelly, so here we are on the homepage of your website, www.51arch.com. And first let me say, I apologize for the delay in getting this audit video over to you. I was bad sick earlier this week. I spent first couple days of the week at home on antibiotics trying to shake off what I believe was strep throat. But anyway, so what I want to do real quick is run through your website, give you some comments on what I see here on your website. Click over. We'll take a few minutes to review some things that Google tells us about your website, look at some Google rankings and that kind of thing, and then we'll come back to your website and look at how some of the behind-the-scenes stuff works on your website using a few tools that I've got installed here on my browser. So I'll try to keep it brief and not take up too much of your time. First thing I notice when I land on your website is obviously the big rotating image here. When it first loads, it shows like some models that you created or something. Man, I gotta say, your website looks really cool. I mean, it's one of the better looking websites that I've audited in a while. So on that front, good job. I mean, it looks killer. Definitely has some potential, but I think there are also some things that are really holding you back in terms of this website performing well as a marketing tool. There's always a delicate balance between creating a beautiful website and creating a website that's really functional and that does a great job of generating leads and generating new business. So some of the things that I talk about, I think we need to find a better balance of beautiful and also functional. And so in saying that, the big thing, the biggest problem I see on your homepage right off the bat is just a total lack of content. You've got pictures, really beautiful pictures, but Google doesn't understand pictures. Google understands text. And so the only text that's on this page is this one slide says residential architecture. And to be honest, I'm not even sure that that's actual text. I think that might be part of that picture. I'm not entirely sure without going through the code of your website. But other than that, there's zero text on the homepage other than your business name up here and then home, contact, and resume. That's a real problem. I think you really need to give Google more information in order for Google to understand what the website's all about and who they should be sending to you. So how do you balance that with the beauty of the website and still provide all that information that Google needs to see in order to know that you're the right person for the job? And for that matter, if a visitor lands on your website, other than these pictures, how do they know that you're the right person for the job? What information, what's the sales pitch in order to get them to pick up the phone and call you instead of your competition? I think we accomplish that by creating some content and putting it below what we call below the fold, which is an old newspaper reference. Basically, put it where people have to scroll down in order to see the text. So when they land on your website, they get this big, pretty picture and all that. But then once they scroll a little bit, there's 400 or 500 words of text that talks about your capabilities and the type of projects that you work on and your background and yada yada yada, whatever is appropriate. But by doing that, giving Google that text, it'll really help I think obtain better Google rankings and also provide information that visitors might want to see in order to decide whether you're the right person for the job. Beyond that, the other thing I'll say that I think is missing from the homepage, there's no contact information on the homepage. I'd really like to see a phone number probably up here in the header so that it's easy for people to get in touch with you. without an extra click in order to get that information. And then at the very bottom of the page, if you had to scroll down to see some text, then at the very bottom of the page, I would also encourage you to have a footer section with all of your contact information. So your business name, your address, and your phone number. Google actually has there's an acronym for what that's called. It's NAP, N-A-P. It stands for name, address, phone number. And Google looks at that NAP, that name, address, and phone number on your website. They compare it to what they've got in their database, and then also to how other websites refer to you around the internet. And that plays a large factor on how well you rank in the local search results. So if somebody's looking for an architect in Memphis, Google will decide whether or not to show you in the local results based on partially on whether or not your name, address, and phone number is on every page of your website and consistent across not only your website but all the other websites around the internet. So as we click over to contact us here, I see that you do have your business name, address, and phone number here, so that's definitely a good thing. I see you've got an email Kelly button here. I think that's good. You might consider adding an email contact form on this page where people can contact you through a form. Those tend to get submitted more than an email button like this. You might also consider putting a form on every page of the website. I don't know how you feel about that from a visual perspective, but maybe a contact form at the very bottom that says request a consultation or something like that could really increase the number of leads that you generate from your website. And then the resume page here, I think this page is fine. It's got all of the typical information that I think you would expect on a resume page, and so I think that's fine. Next up here, I've got a tool open. This is a tool made by Google for web developers. It's called the Mobile Friendly Test, and basically it scans your website to make sure that it's mobile friendly, that it looks good on iPhones and iPads and all that. And it says that your website is mobile friendly, so that's a good thing, and I'm not going to dwell on that. We'll just move on. Next thing here, I searched Google for 5.1 Architecture Memphis. What I was trying to do is get it to pop up this local result right here. So what I've noticed is you refer to your business throughout the website as 5.1, just 5.1. On the contact page, it does, however, say Kelly Shannon Kirk, 5.1, 85 South Front Street, Memphis, Tennessee 38103, 347-2474. So if we come back over here, what I'm doing is I want to compare and see how Google has your information listed as compared to that. As you can see in this local listing right here, it says own this business, ? That implies that nobody's ever claimed this listing. So the first thing that you can do to improve your local search engine rankings is claim this listing, go in, optimize it, add some additional pictures, add more information. If there are more categories that it makes sense for your business to be listed in, add those. Make sure that all your hours are correct and all that stuff. If you need some help optimizing all that, I'll be glad to do that. I think I'm curious why you've got it listed on the website in here as Kelly Shannon Kirk 5.1, when in other places like here, your main listing, it's just 5.1. I think that's an inconsistency that I'm glad to see that you've got it where it matches on the contact page and on your Google listing, so that's good. I don't know. I'm just curious why you decided to list the name that way. Well, I'm curious what the official name of the business is and things like that. Like, how does the Better Business Bureau list you? From a consistency standpoint, I think it's it's important to try to keep that as consistent as possible. So. All right, moving on. I tried to put myself in the shoes of somebody who would be a potential customer of yours and said, all right, if I was looking for somebody that does what Kelly does, what would I search on Google? And so the first thing I came up with was Memphis Architecture. Memphis Architecture. And then, so as we scroll down through here, what I've noticed is you're not showing up at all. We've got the University of Memphis showing up, and then some kind of architecture daily, Arch Daily. I'm guessing that's maybe an architecture magazine or architecture blog or something like that. Obviously, Archimania, a directory, ANF Architects, which is apparently a competitor, Arch in Memphis. So you've got several competitors, but you're not showing up here on the first page. I think that's a missed opportunity. I think that by getting to this first page, you could probably get a lot more business from the internet. And I think that's in large part, it's due to the lack of content that we talked about on your website. And there may be other factors as well, and I'd certainly be glad to dig into that and do a little research for you and help you figure out what else could be done. But the number one thing that's holding you back right now is a lack of content. So just a few more keywords real quick. Memphis architect. You're not showing up here in the local results at all. This is where I was talking about earlier, where that name, address, and phone number can really have a big effect. So I think some things could be done to improve your rankings here, and I'll be glad to talk about that with you sometime if you'd like to chat about that. And then as we scroll down here through the local results, we see a lot of the same folks: Archimania, Looney Rick's Kiss, Shapiro and Company, John Harrison Jones, John Pruitt. You're not showing up on the first page of this either. Finally, I searched Memphis residential architects. Same story here, not in the local results, not showing up in the organic results. So I think you're probably missing a substantial amount of traffic that is ultimately going to your competitors instead of to you, that you could be capturing if we made some changes to your website and some improvements to try to focus more on search engine optimization and how to make your website a better marketing tool. We'll come back to your website real quick, look at a couple more things. I've got this little utility installed here. This is called the Google Tag Assistant. It scans the code on your website and looks to see if you have any Google tags installed. As you can see right here, result of tag analysis, 0 in total. So you don't have any Google tags installed. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping you'd have a tag called Google Analytics installed. That monitors how much traffic you're getting, where the traffic's coming from, how they're getting to your website, and what they're doing once they're there. So it gives us really good data to be able to know how your website's doing as a marketing tool and whether or not it's generating a good return on investment. I'd encourage you to install Google Analytics to be able to capture that data in the future. I'll be glad to help you with that as well if that's something that you'd like to talk about. Finally, I've got one other thing installed on my computer here that I've run on your website. This is called SEO Quake, and this is a page SEO audit. So it just reviews your website to see how it was optimized for the search engines. As I look at things, so the number one thing I want to look at when I'm looking at how a website was optimized was, do you have any keywords in the title tag? As you can see here, your title tag is just 5.1. That's the entire title. This says 10 characters is optimal. I disagree. 10 characters is way too short. This title tag should really include some keywords that describe your business. It could be as simple as maybe it's 5.1, a Memphis residential architecture firm or something like that. I mean, we can put some thought into what a better title would be, but you can definitely improve that title and improve your search engine optimization efforts as a result. Made a description, you don't have one at all, you definitely need that. That gives you the ability to make Google display a really compelling description of your website in the search results. Could be the difference between you getting the business and your competitor getting the business if you're side by side in the same search results. Headings, you have no headings at all. That's a problem. Headings tell Google what the website's all about and what keywords you should be ranking for, so you're missing that. That needs to be fixed. Images without alt, looks like that's an error. I think that needs to be fixed. We talked a lot about text, how much text is on your website. You've only got 4.1% text to HTML ratio, which they say, ouch. I agree. As I've mentioned, I definitely think you need more text. Let's see, I'm just scrolling through here trying to hit the highlights. XML sitemaps, your site doesn't have a sitemap, so you're not telling Google and the other search engines which pages you've got and when they were updated last. I think that could be improved, and that would improve your search engine results as well. Google Analytics is missing. And then micro formats. Basically, micro formats tell Google what your name, address, and phone number is in a very specific way. And your website's missing that. So adding that could improve your local search results as well. I'm going to wrap it up right there, Kelly. I don't want to take up too much of your time or overwhelm you. I hope you found this to be interesting and that I covered some things that are useful to you. My ultimate goal is to become a resource to you, and ultimately I would love to earn your trust and earn your business, to help you out with your website, to help you turn your website into a better marketing tool and obtain more business from it. So if all this sounds interesting and you'd like to chat about that some, pick up the phone and give me a call. My cell phone number, you can call me directly on my cell phone. It's 901-491-64 6490, and we'll just have a little chat about what's happening on your website and what your thoughts are, what your feedback is on this audit video, and then kind of come up with a game plan for how we get you to where you need to be. So give me a call, 901-491-6490. That's my cell phone number, and we'll get you going. We'll get you fixed up. So I'll follow up with you in a few days if I haven't heard from you, just to make sure that you got the email and see if you have any questions or if there's anything that I can help you with. But in the meantime, while you're thinking about it, if you want to chat, pick up the phone and call me, 901-491-6490. Thanks a lot, Kelly. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to talking to you real soon. Bye-bye.